Hi, my name's Darren,
My name's Anthony.
and today we're going to teach you how to make a PVC slider rail out of using just some 2x4s and a piece of PVC. Just basic stuff you can get from your local hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, True Value, you know, any hardware store. So let's go ahead and move on to what we're going to use today. You're going to need some kind of a saw. Basically, we're going to use a hand saw here. You can use electric, whatever you feel like. Whatever you have at home. You're going to need an electrical drill, cordless, corded, whatever, preferably. You can use a screwdriver, but it's going to take a hell of a lot longer, and it's going to be a big pain in the butt. Okay, we have a drill bit. This here is 3/8 in size. This particular drill bit will be used if we decide to drill holes through the coping to put the screws into the rail itself. Next up here on our item list is a box of screws. These are galvanized. Prevents them from rusting. You want a 2.5 inch. Any kind of wood screw will work. Any kind of screw, basically any kind of screw at all. If you can get a screw, anything will work. You're going to need, if you decide to go through the coping, I think we're going to do that. You'll need some kind of an extension screwdriver bit. This here is DeWalt. It's 3.5 inch. And then you'll need roughly about 5 2x4s and a piece of PVC. This here is 1.5 inches in diameter. Okay, now basically what we're going to do here is we're going to start off with 2 2x4s and the piece of PVC pipe itself. Okay, now as you see, Anthony here has got these two pieces of 2x4 set up angled like this, basically making a trough here that the piece of PVC pipe will set in. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to run a screw in each side that holds these two pieces exactly like this so that it'll have some stability. I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. Can you help me hold this? Hold it down now. Hold it down good and tight so don't move while I put this first screw in. Then I'll come over there and put a screw in. Now again, we're not using any measuring devices here, so we're sort of playing this one by ear. You want to match it up on each end while you're doing it because the wood can shift in between movements. Okay, I checked to make sure it went all the way through. This one here is set. Now we're going to go on down to this end. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing all over again. I'm going to go ahead and get it set up. And you just want the two edges to barely touch. Now that we got that one in, we can work our way down the middle. We'll go ahead and put 2 of them in the middle, a couple foot apart from each other. That way we get this bow out. Okay, now this is how it should look whenever you're done. Should be good and stable, good enough to hold it. You see it's got the spline down the middle, split across in the back. Okay. So now, what we've done here, we've took another 2x4 and we've made a triangle with this. Okay, we've got the 2 diagonal pieces which you saw us screw together, and we've set another 2x4 underneath it. Now I've already got 2 set screws at this end holding this together. Anthony's going to hold it down there together to make sure it stays together. All one good triangle, level all the way across. Now what you're going to need to do is take your screw and put it down through the side and into the bottom board. Now what that's going to do is it's going to hold these boards all together. That way you're together here and you're together at the bottom. It's going to keep the bottom of the rail from splitting out, and it's going to keep the top of the rail from splitting open. Can you go ahead and get that together and make sure it don't move?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've already got 2 screws in this end here holding this together to where I've already got it started, basically, is what I'm saying here. I'm going to go ahead and start at this end here. Okay. Now basically, you don't have to worry about these little nubs sticking up. You can take a file and go over them afterwards. Or you can take some tape, some duct tape, and put duct tape over them so that they don't rip your clothes or your skates won't get hung up on them. Whoop. Little slip there. Okay, so now basically what we've done now is we've got all these screws in, giving you a nice triangular design here. So you can lay your piece of PVC down the center. We've got our design done here for the top half of the rail. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the feet of the rail itself. Now, the good thing is that we did this first so we can sort of use this as a cutting block. And normally, you know, it's a lot safer to cut with 2 people when you're using a hand saw or a regular circular saw in this case. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the feet. Move all this stuff out of the way. Go ahead and get the saw out. This one here is pretty new. I've only used it a couple times. So what we're going to do is Anthony's going to bring this over here. This piece of 2x4 here. Just realized my damn saw handle's broke. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're going to start cutting this into little sections that we're going to use for the bottom of the rail. We're going to stack a whole bunch of pieces on top of each other and screw them together from each side to make it a certain height that we would like it to be. And then finally, after we're done with that, we're going to cut 2 long pieces and set them sideways underneath the rail. Okay, so now what we've done is we've cut all of our blocks, and we're now going to go ahead and flip this over. You're going to need your drill gun and your screws. You're going to need the bottom of this, and now we're going to go ahead and start screwing these blocks onto the bottom, piece by piece. We've realized that we wanted it 4 high, so we're going to go 1 by 1 and go ahead and put these on. Now mind you, we're going to put them on the very ends, and then in the middle we'll just stack a bunch of blocks up. You want to start on the corner first to keep the block from twisting. It's up to you. You can start anywhere. I prefer starting on the corner.